Alright, welcome back to the Backmarker Update. Today we're going to be looking at the Las Vegas truck race, which was a historic truck race because we have our third African American Truck Series winner, not Truck Series winner, NASCAR winner of all time in a touring series. First Wendell Scott, then Bubba Wallace in 2021, and now Rajah Caruth has submitted himself as the third African American to win in one of NASCAR's top three divisions. Historic win. I congratulate him. He's a native born from Georgia, and since I live here also in Georgia, I have to support him as well. As a homegrown driver, I support his career and I hope he wins more races. But Spire dominating. Spire has won 2 of the last 3 races, and if you count Rev Racing coming out of the Spire shop, that's 3 Spire shop drivers have swept the last 3 races. Rev Racing won Daytona, Spire won with Kyle Busch in the number 7 at Atlanta, and now Spire's won again in the 71 for Rajah Caruth. I mean, they're dominating the series right now. Just unbelievable. As for the highlights, there was only 2 highlights. The 41 spun out on lap 4, and then the 5 hit the wall hard. Classic Dean Thompson submitting himself as someone who just loves wrecking out in races. So first we have the lap 4 spin by Bailey Curry. He just spun off of, I believe that was the 45 of Mozak. But yeah, he just spun out, lost control, lap 4 caution. And then on lap 68, Dean Thompson gets into the wall, just gets loose, gets into the wall, causes a caution. But that was pretty much it. I mean, the only other cautions were the stage cautions, which you can see here on lap 62 and lap 32. As you can see, Rajah Caruth in the 71 won the race, and Ty Majeski for ThorSport, the number 98, swept the stages. We'll get into the backmarker finishes later, but of course, as you can see, very few cautions, only 2 cautions for incidents, the other 2 were stage cautions. For penalties, Christopher Bell, equipment interference, number 46, Thad Moffitt over the wall too soon, and the number 22 of Keith McGee, uncontrolled tire penalty. Alright, looking at the backmarker finishes, we only have one backmarker that did poorly tonight, and that was unfortunately Timmy Hill. Electrical issues, -5 positions. Not a terrible loss, but I mean, it's still hard to see, still hard to watch a backmarker DNF a race. Grant Enfinger in the CR7 got a top 10, have to shout him out here, +1. Started 10th, finished 9th, +1, that's amazing. Lawless Allen, Keith McGee, Thad Moffitt, and Spencer Boyd, all +5. Lawless Allen finishing 23rd, McGee 27th, Moffitt 25th, and Spencer Boyd 29th. All backpack finishes for the most part, but they're all +5 gains, so I do have to call them out still for those +5 accomplishments. Brett Holmes and Mason Massey +8 respectively. Mason Massey finished 21st, but Brett Holmes got another top 15 with a 12th place finish from 20th. That is an amazing start to the year for Brett Holmes. He's in the playoffs, as we'll see in the points still, so that is amazing for Brett Holmes as a driver owner. And the best performance of the backmarkers of the night, the number 66 of Connor Jones for ThorSport. Started 26th, finished 14th, +12 gain, amazing for Connor Jones. He's definitely showing his promises and career futures, driving a pretty good season so far with that 5th entry for ThorSport. Alright, if we look at the points, Tyler Ankrum leads +67. We have our 2 winners, Caruth and Sanchez. Kyle Busch, of course, is not running for points, so he's not on here, but he also did win as well. Right now for the playoffs, as you can see, there's a big gap forming between 10th and 11th place. Enfinger has a +19 over the bubble. CR7's doing a pretty good job. ThorSport is kind of mixed. They have 2 drivers solidly in and 2 drivers solidly out right now. They have Majeski in +62 and Crafton in +28. But at the bottom we have Garcia -30 and Ben Rhodes -33. Big points gaps between the ThorSport trucks, I just have to say that. As for the McAnally trucks, 2 of them are currently in. One of them is out. Daniel Dye is -19, so he's got to work He's not totally out. I mean, it's very early on in the season. He's still got like 18 races to make up the gap, but still, he's got to work hard to get back into the playoffs here. Other notable teams, obviously, we talked about how Spire's dominant. Spire's 2 trucks in, 2 winners, Carruth and Sanchez. Purdy is out by negative 33. He needs to start fighting hard to get in there. Other teams that are showing prominence in the playoffs, we have, of course, Brett Holmes in the 32 driver owner, doing pretty well, plus 23. And, of course, we talked about Enfinger being in the playoffs already. Notable teams that need to get in, Tanner Gray in the 15 for Tricon needs to get in there. Dean Thompson, negative 36. He crashed out, but he still got a decent finish. He just needs to work harder to get that 5 in the playoffs. We talked about the 2 Thor Sport trucks. Honestly, Stuart Friesen, just keep going. He's kind of a bubble driver at this point. Didn't make the playoffs last year. I'd like some redemption this year, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Other notable trucks, 76 of Boyd. Even though Hill crashed out in the 56, he's still negative 32, still holding in there. Bailey Curry also spun out, but he's still negative 35, so he's still in contention. But all in all, it's very early on in the points. Really nothing to criticize here besides Thorsport having issues, McAnally having issues. Nice Motorsports is in shambles. Matt Nils DNF'd for like 2 races in a row, so terrible start to the year for Nice Motorsports. As for the playoffs, just notable that Brett Holmes, driver owner, is currently 8th in the playoffs. Hope he continues that streak. Grant Enfinger in the CR7 ride. That truck was garbage last year, but now is a playoff contender, so I believe that Enfinger is going to give that team a really good run and a really good opportunity. Alright, that's all I have to say for the truck race. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like if you like, dislike if you don't, subscribe if you like it, and I'll see you guys next time. Toodaloo!